Welcome to the Bad Tutors podcast. If you're here for the newest, up-to-date, accurate information on the nerdy topics that are near and dear to your heart, well, let me tell you, you ended up in the wrong place. Here, we're all about hot takes and grandiose displays of misinformation, so stick along for the ride, and you might just blow a blood vessel or two. And that's especially true this episode, because Ian, we're just doing hot takes on what we think might be coming in Monster Hunter Generation 6, with the first title being Monster Hunter Wilds.
Before I know we're obviously going to get into it, would you like to give us a reason why we're talking about this? Because obviously we know the reason why, but not necessarily everyone else does.
Yeah, so the trailer for the game got released in the Game Awards and for 2023. And then I don't know if you know this or not, but 2024 is the 20-year anniversary of Monster Hunter, and it sucks that we're not getting a new title for the game. And we're also not getting any updates to Rise, the most recent title.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. I couldn't remember if title updates had fully stopped for that game.
Those are done. Those are done.
So they're full force into Wilds.
They have been since March of 23.
Okay.
Which is why I originally thought we're going to see a release in 24, but it's going to be 25.
I am still surprised. This will be the last thing on just the release of it. I understand why they did it at the Game Awards. Obviously, that's a fucking massive platform for them to be on. Yeah. I am a little surprised that they didn't reveal it at the 20th year anniversary, to be perfectly honest, unless we're getting like the gameplay trailer or something there. I could see like a more fleshed out trailer or a bigger one, and that's just like your big cinematic one. And at the 20th year, we're gonna be seeing like here's X new thing, or just we'll see gameplay of it or something would be my guess. Because there's no way they don't talk about it at 20th year.
Here's what I think we saw. We saw an announcement trailer, not the game trailer. The announcement trailer was very bare bones in terms of actual information on the game. We saw one zone. We saw like 4 total monsters, 2 different types of small monsters, those big Gros Harag looking desert lion things.
Yep.
And then we saw a Rathalos fly by at the end.
Because
Rathalos is not going to be the flagship.
I mean, I fucking hope not. But also imagine having a new Monster Hunter game trailer or announcement trailer without Rathalos.
True. It could be the flagship, but I really don't think it's going to be, because they always release a new monster for the flagship.
Like, that'd be really lame. Unless they gave Rathalos like a 100% overhaul to the fight, which I am not in favor of, certainly.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
I hope that won't be the title monster.
So I think we just saw a glimpse into it, like, hey guys, it's coming. I suspect we will see the a more in-depth trailer where I hope we see a little bit more of the different arenas that you can be in, or the different zones. I think all that's going to come with the 20-year celebration in March.
That makes sense.
And they've got like a clock that's doing countdowns, and every I think it's every month, or every time they release something new in preparation for it, it moves like an hour hand. So and the hour hands are all of the weapon groups, because there's 14 weapons, right? So it's it's like a wheel of 14. So there's gonna be like 14 like teasers or stuff, and then we're gonna get the big reveal or the big celebration. It might not be a reveal.
That's how we got it in Rise too, didn't we? We started just getting all of the like Silkbind movesets, like the base Silkbind moveset reveals, I think.
But we got the full game trailer first. This is going to be our first trailer where we don't see the title monster.
Right.
in the first trailer that we see. So this,
Yeah.
I really think this is more of a first glimpse.
It feels like them going, hey, all the Monster Hunter fans probably know that we're about to release something at the 20 year, but
actually,
non-Monster Hunter fans might not know that. So
I actually have
way,
a little
we
bit of a
new
disagreement
game.
on that point because
Really? Okay.
Monster Hunter exploded with Monster Hunter World, and that came
Yes.
out like what 5-6 years ago.
I think maybe more.
Okay, so whenever it came out,
it's been out for a while,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
When it came out, the game exploded in popularity. It was released worldwide at the same time, so there wasn't a staggered release.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the hype that was built around it came, like you were all able to access. Yeah, exactly. And it was their highest selling title.
Yep. And I believe still is to this day.
I think so. And Rise also did really well, and also did a full release.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's not true because it came out for the Switch.
Well,
it came out for the Switch across the world, and then
I'd say you're correct in saying that it was still a worldwide release, but it was worldwide release on Switch, and then they leaked it out to the other consoles.
I don't
like 2 years later.
I think you can play it on PlayStation.
I think you can play it on all the consoles now. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. That'd be weird if you.
But basically, my point is I think that the franchise has gotten a lot of new fans in, and
absolutely.
Those new fans might know that there's some other games before it, right?
Yep.
But I don't know if they know that the first game came out in 2004 for the original PlayStation, you know?
I mean, fuck, I am a fan of this series and have been for years, and I barely knew that. I just knew it was I knew it was old, but like I wouldn't have guessed 2004 if you asked me to put a year to it.
Yeah, and you know, I think this was a great time to release it to get people to be excited for the 20th year anniversary and to keep looking into it and stuff, because in the trailer we see so much new things. We have a new mount, so no more Palamutes.
That is brutal, but
it's sad because I can't have dogs in my game where I can have cats, which is like the biggest hit for me.
That's fair.
You know, we saw the new mount. The mount has a light bowgun strapped to it, or maybe it was a heavy. And so
there was that's got people, a bowgun strapped to it.
That's got people, you know, freaking out. You've got this massive population of monsters and endemic life that you can see on the screen. The hunter is weaving between them on the mount. If those Gross things are like large monsters, we have 4 of them on the screen at once, which is the most that would ever be in a Monster Hunter game to date, because we've only had quests of 3 monsters at a time, unless there's like weird what are they, event quests that just have like, you know, 30 monsters or something, but it's never been able to handle it before,
right?
And so lots of new things to get excited about, so people are going to be searching up Monster Hunter Wilds as often as they think about the game and they get excited for it. And
check out any new updates.
They're going to be seeing that there's, you know, the 20th anniversary, so that's why I think they released it here at the Game Awards.
I think that makes perfect sense. I agree.
Yeah, it's just a quick, you know, 7-minute answer to the question.
By the way, this exists. Hey, if you enjoyed the other ones, check it out. And even if you didn't enjoy the other ones, hey, that looked pretty fucking cool, didn't it? That looks like a cool game. And then everyone starts looking at it again.
Yeah, and I just one more thing before we start getting into my hot takes, and we'll get some of yours too. This game just looks like World 2, which is the perfect direction for them to go in, all things considered. It's what
literally all of our friends want. All of our friends are just like, even the ones that have played Rise as well are like, Rise is fun. Both of us have talked about it. We really like the game. They did some great stuff. But all of us just want World, but again.
Yeah.
We just want the same framework and engine, or I don't know if they're using this.
No, they're going to use
same
the
framework
RE
with better things, so they can do more. We had talked about about World that like all the monsters are great, but they're kind of samey. And Rise was like, whoa, look at all of this different monster variety type, and we know that a big part of that for World was just that they had to build the whole fucking engine and like get everything working at a base level, so all of the like monster frameworks and stuff could only do so much, which was like a big limiting factor for them.
Well, okay, so
I'd say correct me. I'm sure there's some like
Rise was the first game
wasn't
on their new RE engine. It was just also released on Switch, which is why it looks
like a Switch game.
Aesthetically lackluster compared to World. World was still. I feel like there's a direction.
I do want to defend Rise a bit. It's an art direction thing.
It is an art direction. I just mean like in terms of population and like density of the game.
World looks prettier and it makes you feel like you're in a world. Rise looks pretty in its art direction.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily make you feel like I am a part of this world, where Monster Hunter World specifically did that. It made me feel like this world is real. I understand how things are interacting, and it makes sense. Where in Rise, it was just like, this is a world that things live in, and it is very pretty. But that was like kind of about it.
They even went so far as to name the title Wilds. So the acronym is still MHW. So when you're doing your Google search, maybe you have to put in MHW2 now to differentiate or type out Wilds. But let's get into our hot takes, the thing that I actually wanted to talk about. So first, we're going to start with the things that we want to see return in Wilds from other games. Mostly, Gen 5, because it's the freshest, by far the best so far. Like,
that's what I was gonna say. I don't want to shit on the other games.
Has always gotten better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think there's any Monster Hunter game that I would point to and go, this game was worse than the last one. There might be elements of the other. I mean, again, we're specifically comparing Rise and World here. Realistically, or if I really wanted to, World and 4U, because those are the two that I really have experience in, or World and Gen, I guess. But like, all of them have been better. Maybe there's like, oh, I liked this aspect of the old game, but the 15 things that they fixed in the new one far outweigh I kind of liked that one thing that is no longer here. Like, I don't think that it's disparaging to the other games to say that World and Rise are without a doubt the best in the series, because they've had so much time to work on them and improve the formula and improve the gameplay loop, and it makes sense that it's worked out that way.
Yeah, and that's why I'm so excited for this game, is because it's just going to improve on everything that we've gotten so far, which has been great games.
Exactly.
So things that I want to see, or I think we'll see return, and I kind of have like a temperature rating on how hot of a take it is. Okay. So I'm gonna start with the slinger. We're gonna see this return. It's in the trailer. It's on the hunter's arm. This is an ice cold take. Okay, right out of the freezer.
Yep.
It's right there in the trailer, so it's confirmed. Faster paced gameplay. So Rise, the hunts are like half the time of 4U, and probably, like a little bit quicker than World, depending on some factors in World.
Yeah, I would say that that's on average true, certainly. Some of the World fights took a fucking minute.
Yeah, so we absolutely saw an increase in mobility in Gen 5 from Gen 4. Most of our friends that listen, I don't think have played a lot of Gen 4 besides like me and you.
I believe so, yeah.
If you remember, just running through those zones was painful sometimes. Actually, it just felt normal. But now that we've gotten
Now that we don't,
palamutes and subcamps and different camps to like basically fast travel between, it feels so slow comparatively.
Yeah, going back to World feels difficult after Rise. Going back to Gen or 4U feels impossible.
Like, I would agree.
Not even like the combat and stuff is still good, especially Gen. I really liked Gen's combat, but like, it's just you're correct. It's just the mobility.
Yeah, the other thing is
it's so hard.
Just in general, the game pace has picked up a little bit. The best thing that you can look at is great sword or hammer charge up time. Wilson, stop.
Yeah, I think
you can look at the charge times because they come out quicker now. True slash or not true slash, like a third charge slash on a great sword.
True slash, you're right.
Okay, I don't play the fucking weapon. It's boring as shit.
True slash charge.
Yeah, it comes out like almost half a second faster than it did in Try in World, or maybe even more.
Which doesn't seem like a lot until you realize that that's the only thing you're doing, and you're doing it 40 times plus on a very, very rough estimate. Half a second times 40 is becoming a real amount of
20
time
seconds,
at that point. Yeah, like that's 20 seconds feels small, but like it's really not. That adds up.
Especially in a game like Monster Hunter where it's just gameplay loop after gameplay loop. Not that there's anything issues with the gameplay loop. That's our favorite part about Monster Hunter.
Right, but it's just how it is. It's
going through the grind,
Not to pull RuneScape into it, but it's that thing of, oh man, this 2-hour grind is gonna save me 2 seconds every time I use this teleport.
Yeah, exactly.
That feels shitty. That's 2 hours for 2 seconds. How many times are you gonna use that teleport the amount of times you play the game? Hundreds of thousands? Okay, you're saving 20 hours in the long run of playing this game at that point. Like small amounts of time like that in games that last, I'll say probably over 100 hours of like standard game time, that shit adds up. Like so much quicker. Like I've started realizing it in games now a lot more than I used to. That stuff adds up so fucking quickly, and it's nice. I really like seeing. I don't want, my take on faster gameplay would be that I don't want to see it speed up so much that it feels like a new game. Because like I don't want to.
You don't want to have to get good at a new game.
Not even that. It just would. I worry that it wouldn't feel like Monster Hunter as much. Like this might be jumping a little bit. If when you were talking about, it looks like there might be like 4 large monsters in this one area just there. That makes me a little. It makes me a little nervous that you'd be your one Goss Harang fight. The quest is now kill 3.
Yeah,
and like that just.
I will say
that just feels like a harder small monster quest, not a large monster quest.
I will say I
hope they don't do that.
I wanted to talk about this a little later when I talk about siege hunts. But I think that those guys are going to be like the new siege hunt or the new rampage thing. I think it's going to be like a stampede is what I think it's going to be, because that's really what it looked like. There was the storm,
right?
All of the monsters moving in the same direction. I think it's going to be like the stampede or like migration quest or something.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Where your objective is not kill a monster; it is you're still playing Monster Hunter. You're still smashing monsters in the face with a hammer or blasting them with a bowgun. But you're also like trying to defend or prevent something from happening. But that's faster paced gameplay. We'd love to see it. We have our avian raptor mount for evidence.
Looks sick.
Faster quests and hunts is better for a game that's about grinding, and that is my room temperature take on this one.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I agree with that.
Yeah. The next one I have is Scout Flies, and that is possibly the biggest quality of life improvement in Monster Hunter World. It's just the removal of the paintball. For anybody that didn't play with paintball, it was a different time, okay? Not only did you have to know the monster's movesets, you also had to know their weaknesses. You had to know what fucking zones they would fly to when they fly away. Because if your paintball ran out, you're fucked
no
if you
idea.
don't know where that is, and you have to go search the
Yeah.
entire map. And all the maps have like 12 zones, right? So be fucking
with
anywhere.
a loading screen in between all of them.
Yes, they also had loading screens, which is rough.
I mean, back when we played for you and Jen, both of us could tell you where every monster. You still know in Monster Hunter World where every monster spawns when you're doing the same quest, because in a quest it always spawns at the same location.
Yep.
But both of us also always knew where the monster would go to eat, which was a bigger mechanic at the time, as well as where they would go to sleep. And not like we see it going there, like you go, oh, we're gonna go fight low rank Gore Magala, and both of us could go, okay, it's going to spawn in 8, sleep in 3, and in between it rotates between
like 5
11, 5 and
4,
6 or something like that. Like, that is information that both of us knew for pretty much every single monster, or at least every one that we did any amount of grinding on. And I can barely tell you in World or Rise where things spawn unless we've been grinding it for like an hour.
Right.
And then I'll learn it.
And that's a great quality of life thing that I don't have to learn about the game that's already pretty complex.
I'm so glad. That might have sounded like I'm upset that it's transitioning. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. Let me show it on the map, please.
Yeah. We're getting older. We don't have time to commit to it as much as we'd like.
Yeah.
We got careers now. That's kind of cringe.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, like the fact that your paintball would run out after paintballing a monster. It would fly away. If you didn't know the monster very well, if it's your first time fighting a Rathian and you're a noob, you run around, you find the Rathian, right? You finally find it.
And it flies away instantly.
Yes, it flies away instantly. You're fucked. You're fucked.
And now
that's a 20-minute hunt. That should have taken like 5 minutes. Even
I was just gonna say your 5-minute search time just turned into 15 because you found him and then he immediately left before you could paintball him again.
Yep.
I think it could be interesting if they wanted to keep paintballs but have it be like a buff or debuff or something, but that feels like a lot. It feels like a lot, and it feels like another thing that I don't want to have to manage, similarly to how I've talked about tenderizing. I think is the worst thing that happened in the world.
Now that you say that, I think if they put a paintball back in the game, or an item like the paintball that like you mark the monster and like for whatever reason you know where it is, I think the best thing that they could do with that, because otherwise, if they have scout flies, it's not necessary. The best thing that they could do is if you mark it with a paintball, you can get on your mount and hit a button and it takes you to the monster. That'd be the best thing that they could do with that.
I could see that.
Because scout flies already gave you, the best path to get to the monster that you're tracking. So,
and something that we forget about is that you did have to develop your scout flies. The first time you fought something, it did not track which I still think is
aspect,
good.
Our friends have weighed in on this, right? They liked that. They're like, we're researching the monster as we fight it, which is something that was like very integral to World. Is like you were none of these monsters pretty much, So yeah, I think the removal of paintballs is one of the best things that happened in 5th gen, and I hope it stays out. Yeah. As long as they have a good system of just tracking the monster. Yeah. Honestly, in Rise, the fact that you didn't need to do anything kind of felt
kind of nice. But
it was nice.
It was
a
little
gamey at first, like it was just a little too arcadey. It's like go here and hit the thing a bunch of times.
I feel like you
missed a lot of those maps.
I feel like I have missed a lot of those maps because of that shit. I feel like that is the biggest difference between World and Rise, is that Rise felt arcadey.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I love Rise. I think it's great, but like it felt less grounded than World did. Which is fine, but it's just a very different feeling. And I think all of us really, really liked the kind of grounded take that World had.
Yeah. So this take is just room temperature. Everybody likes scout
Yeah.
flies.
It was a good inclusion. Paintball
Yeah.
sucked. And especially, we're not even taking into the consideration that a paintball was an item that took up a slot in your loadout. Which
That's true.
back in the day didn't bother me as much because I wasn't as good at the game. Now that I'm at least decent and have a lot of time in World and Rise, I think both of my base loadouts are like almost completely full, or maybe have one open slot. And in a hunt, every single item I have gets used. I might not use every one of them, but I use every single slot that I have in my loadouts. So sacrificing something for a paintball would be like actively detrimental to my gameplay.
Yeah, and then for anybody that doesn't know, there didn't always used to be a separate pouch for ammo. You would have to manage.
You're right. I even forgot about that because
that might have been third gen. That might have been third gen. I think it came out in fourth gen.
But I don't even know because I wasn't playing.
But then the paintball system hurt even more if you ever played a ranged weapon, which I never do.
Yeah, I only picked them up in World.
Yeah,
and I really only
a meta whore.
And I only play them in World 2. I don't even play them in Rise, really.
Yeah. Yeah, so room temperature take on that one, I think it'd just be best if that sort of mentality is stuck with.
Everyone, I think, kind of agrees with that. Like, I'm not super engaged in the community, but I've never seen someone going, man, I miss paintballs. Never once. Like, seeing them in MH Go, like, threw me off for a second. I was like, oh, right. Real. Paintballs are, like, a thing in the Monster Hunter universe, right?
Yeah, did you mean Monster Hunter now?
I did. I always just call it anything made by Niantic is XIP Go.
Okay, all right. But here is my hot take that I know you're not going to agree with, and that's underwater combat.
See,
baby.
I don't actually have a take on this because I never played 3U, other than the fact that it looked shit. But I never played it, so I can't have a real stance on it.
So, in that case, I am probably the only person in our play group that has ever played underwater combat.
Everybody else
Nathan
started.
Did. Nathan did. We would play with him. He did.
Everyone that isn't myself, you, Nathan, and our friend John started with Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. Well, John's actually the one that got me into the game.
Exactly.
We'd play it on his Wii. We'd play Try on his Wii, and then we went back to Gen 2. Yeah, dude, it was crazy.
God.
Just Arena Quest. We just spamming Arena Quest on the fucking split screen multiplayer. It was a different time.
Split screen Monster Hunter. You're breaking my brain.
I know. It was crazy. It was amazing.
So bad.
It was amazing.
Jesus Christ.
But here's what I want to say about underwater combat.
Yeah.
The old system was pretty lackluster.
Sure.
There was no skills that made underwater combat easier. There was just one that made your breath last longer. So you were always slow as shit. Your move pool got cut in half unless you played switch axe, which is why in Try the only weapon you ever see somebody use underwater is a switch axe.
I was just going to say that actually. Yeah, that's the only weapon I've ever seen used underwater. You're correct.
Yeah,
that's really funny, actually.
But I think it would also be a great time to bring it back because they're on a new engine. They have lots of new things that they can work with.
They could actually make it engaging. Yeah.
Yes.
Because, I mean,
they can make the water arena more interesting than just a void of blue that the monster is in.
Credit to them when they did underwater combat. I don't think there was a good underwater combat.
Yeah.
And end of statement. I don't think there was a good underwater. I think the best underwater combat system that existed in that point was probably Mario's underwater.
I was gonna say Super Mario's you jump to swim. Yeah,
correct. I think that's. I mean, in certain ways, I think that's still the best underwater combat we've seen in video games.
Yeah.
Wait. Very specific caveat. Best underwater combat in games that are not specifically games about being underwater. There are
Okay,
underwater
sure.
games that have decent underwater combat. But if
Sure.
you're an above ground game that happens to have it, I've never seen it been done well, even one single time.
Right. I think I agree mostly. But if we get underwater combat, we're gonna see the return, hopefully,
Of your favorite monster.
of my favorite monster, Legiacris.
Yep.
Big alligator that explodes lightning. It's like Zinogre underwater and scaly. He's cool as shit.
You think he's an alligator? Really? I guess.
Yeah, I mean his neck is long for an alligator, but other than that, big tail that he swings around. I think he literally has a death roll move underwater.
I was just gonna ask you that. If he does, I retract my
big
statement.
crystals of lightning, you know. So
Yeah,
we get him back.
Alligator-esque, you're right.
We would get an Elder Dragon that's only been in, I think, one game or maybe two games, and that's Hideus, which is just a big underwater behemoth of a monster. Very slow, but hits like a truck. We'd also get some of those lesser monsters that were just added to fill out, we could get them. Underwater combat. We could get more underwater combat monsters like Gobel, which is anglerfish, and everyone's favorite hockey player for the amazing hip check, Plezia.
God.
As well as new monsters to go underwater. And existing monsters get new movesets when they're underwater. Like in the case of Royal Ludroth is probably the best example. But you could take Mizitsune underwater or something like Almudron from Rise. It would be really sick if they brought underwater combat back and totally revamped it. I think it could be extremely successful, and that's my hot take because I know the community hates underwater combat.
Yeah, I would also be very interested to see if they did it because I think Try and Try You just left a bad taste in people's mouth because, as we said at the time, there wasn't good underwater combat, and I think everyone is just going to stick to that until they see differently. Whether or not they will see differently is a separate issue, but I think it could be cool.
Removed like dual blades. They removed gun lance. They removed hunting horn for Rise. They removed like 3 weapon groups before they had a bunch of weapon groups because they were so focused on the underwater combat.
In 3U. I thought you said Rise, and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" All of those.
No, I'm sorry.
In
everything that I just said was for the 3rd generation. Try and Try You.
Really, they didn't have either of those
and
because of that.
3rd portable. Yeah, they didn't have any of those weapons because
Wow.
You have to think about it like this: they have to make a new move set for every weapon group that goes underwater.
You're right.
And so that's basically redesigning each of those moves.
Every weapon.
So they cut a couple of them. And so I think if they brought it back and they brought it back in a big way that's extremely successful, I think the community would be in love with water combat all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and this is my hot take. Okay. This is like my hottest take.
Yeah, for sure.
I want them to bring snakes back.
I agree.
I want that too. Snake wyverns only have 2 entries and only 1 large monster. That's fucking blasphemous. Narjarala is such a cool monster.
Yeah.
Do you remember fighting it?
Is Almudron not a snake wyvern?
No.
What? Wait, but it's just Najarala but in mud. What?
It's kind of Najarala, but in mud.
Oh, I guess it does have legs and shit, though. It's not a snake. No, you're right.
Yeah.
No, because I completely agree. Najarala is one of my all-time favorite fights. Especially, it was one of my favorite fights in 4U. I think it's one of my favorite fights in general, though. I wish the armor was better, but that's a different point.
That's just because you wanted to grind the fight because it was good.
Yeah, I just really liked that. That was one of my favorite fights. It was really cool.
He used like sonic sound and like rattling his tail to.
He threw off little plates of his tail that would resonate at the same. I mean, this is how I assume it worked. But like mechanically, he would let out a noise, and all of them would start to move, and after a certain amount of time, they would explode because they were like resonating at the same frequency that he was putting off. So they'd explode and do damage to you. So it'd be like leaving little mines around the map. It was so cool. That fight was sick as fuck. I loved it.
Yeah, honestly, some of the monster uniqueness of 4 and 4U and Gen and all that is a reason to go back and play it, even though it feels so slow.
Yeah.
But, dude, just think about it. They could be tunneling and constricting. You could have like, you know, like a Kuliaku sized snake that's just really fucking fast and like hits like a cobra or a rattlesnake where it's like a quick bite and then it's back. And obviously, you know, paralysis, poison, all of that stuff could work with the snake very easily.
Oh, for sure.
Sleep even.
Yeah.
I think we have decent chances of them coming back. People online have speculated. I know you haven't looked at Wilds too much and anything.
Not at all.
Anything like really diving through the trailer, but in the final title screen of that trailer, in the very background, is this big fucking mountain. And the mountain is kind of shaped like a reverse C. And it looks like something just bore through the mountain. And people are thinking it's a big fucking snake.
That could be... we have one of those. Yeah, that could be him coming back. I can't think of what his name is.
It could be, yeah.
Also, with snakes, we could
is it an Elder Dragon? I don't think it is.
I don't... Dalamadur. That's what it is.
Yes,
it's Dalamadur. I don't know if it's an Elder Dragon, but that's the one that I'm thinking of. That's like... That's one of the like biggest... I think it might be the biggest scale fight that we do in Monster Hunter, other than...
It is an Elder Dragon.
Other than maybe Zora Magdaros. That one might technically be bigger. I feel like it's not, though, because you're like, not that you don't climb all over Zora Magdaros, but you climb all over, like, the fight for Dalamadur is like climbing circularly all the way up its back to like get to the head, right?
Get to the head.
I never did the fight, but
I also didn't do it, but
I've seen it.
That was like end game 4U content, and if you look up 4U, there's thousands of hours of content in 4U.
Yeah, for sure.
There's like just so many quests.
Also, for snakes, and then I want to chime in with one of the things that I want to see as well because it fits with that. Snakes. One thing that you didn't mention from taking it straight out of the Jungle Book, it could have one of the snakes could have the hypnosis thing that does the same as Malfiesto.
Malfiesto.
And like reverses your controls because it's hypnotized you. That could be very interesting.
Like a sort of reverse snake charm.
Exactly.
Cool.
I think that'd be very interesting. Speaking of monsters that I want to see more specifically, I'm going to say it every time we talk about Monster Hunter. Give me more amphibians. Yep. There's only 3 of them total. And obviously I specifically want to see Zamtrios, as always. But like... Similar to snake wyverns only having 2 things, amphibians only have 3, and we've only seen one of them in the last 2 generations. That sucks. Give me more. I want more of them. Let me see them. We haven't seen Tetucabra or Zamtrios since Gen
4.
I'd say no, Gen. 4th Gen. Generations
specifically generations.
Yeah, we haven't seen Zamtrios since 4U, and Gen did have Tetucabra.
Pour one out for my
favorite
frog.
monster. Yeah, my inflation vor fetish.
Yeah, the only thing that I will say is that they have issues with the actual coding of the body model of a snake wyvern and Leviathans as well, which is what Lugiacris is.
That's like specifically why we did not see Lugiacris in World, right? Like,
yes,
because they talked about it and like
they showed him
actively.
They showed him in there.
He had a turf war. Oh, okay.
He had a turf war with Anjanath. He was supposed to be the other apex of that first forest.
Interesting. That would have
But
been kind of cool.
they had to go with
But yeah,
Rathalos instead.
the body model just straight up didn't work. That sucks.
Yeah. But we have new technology now, an entire new engine. It could be promising. This is a lukewarm take. This is a lukewarm take
for
from
sure.
me. I want to talk about mobility next. We already touched on it a little bit, so I'll be quick on this one. But as a gun lance main, if I can't blast around the map with dash shelling or blast shelling, I'm gonna be very disappointed. Okay, the mobility that has expanded throughout the game series has only ever done good things for the game.
It's that the mobility is why Rise feels so good to play specifically.
Exactly.
Like, Rise is a good game. I would enjoy it without wire bugs, but wire bugs make that game go from like a very solid 7 to like a 9.5, 10.
Yeah,
they're so fun.
Wire bugs just add so much to the game.
Using silk binds, if you
yes,
only had
you
them
should be using silk binds.
Absolutely,
they are the mechanic of the game.
But like, even if you never use those and only use them for mobility, it's such a massive upgrade to the game. Especially, you said as a gun lance main, I'm a fucking greatsword main. Having mobility is just like I'm basically playing World Greatsword and playing Rise Greatsword. It feels like I'm playing two different weapons. Legitimately.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so different.
So I think the devs have been moving in this direction since the beginning, and that's great. So for this take, the temperature is going to be both taps on the sink open. After it reaches that equilibrium, it's that temperature.
I got you.
The last thing that specifically I want to bring up in terms of I want these in the game, and maybe other people don't, give me siege style hunts in some capacity, but let me caveat that I don't want to do fucking tower defense and Monster Hunter. I don't want Rampage. It's not that bad.
We both love and simp for tower defense games real hard. I've been on a Bloons TD6 kick like a motherfucker for the last week and a half.
Game of the year.
Monster Hunter is not where I want to do it. Or to be fair, if I'm doing it in Monster Hunter, I don't want to control my hunter, at which point I'm no longer playing Monster Hunter, so don't put it in my fucking game. If they did if they did like a really cool siege tower defense thing,
Hunter tower defense game,
top down amazing. Tower defense, I would play the fuck out of it endlessly.
That'd be amazing.
I don't want it in my mainline game. Make that an offshoot game. In like, hey, Capcom, like, hey, please make that an offshoot game. We would play that so much. We would never stop playing that fucking game. But yeah, I agree with that as well.
So
I'd like to see something like when Rampages came out, we played it day one or like very quickly after it came out at least. And we were both like, damn, this is kind of cool and kind of interesting. And then we did our third one and went, no, it's not.
It's
this
the same
sucks.
fucking
We're
thing.
so done. This is so boring.
Because
and then all of the hunts wrap up with the gong going off and you just attack them anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So just make it that the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that would have been more interesting as well. It was as we've said about everything else with Rise, it's the off team that is trying new ideas. And I think it was a very, very cool new idea. And
it was so close.
If they tweak it and hit it right, I think it would be great. I think they could do great things with the concept for sure.
And I don't even know what hitting it right looks like in the case of Rampages. I don't know what it looks like.
I kind of like your idea of like migrations where instead of like killing a bunch of shit or defending, we're going like, oh, all of these things, kind of like Lao Shen Long. That's not right.
So like
Lao Shen Long.
No, that is
where it's
like
right. He's coming towards there, and it's like there is a stampede coming. So you have two options: either you kill the thing at the back that's driving it, or reroute them. You have to set something up and like kill enough of them, or like get them to turn away. Something like that.
Exactly.
I think there's an interesting way to do it, and that would give us there's 70 monsters on screen at the same time, and it looks cool, but it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming actually. But it like the spectacle is still there.
Yeah, and what's great about these siege style hunts, when they're done in the right way, they progress the narrative. Gen Moran and 4, Gen Moran and
Great fight.
and third gen, and then who's in world.
Pretty much just Zora Magdaros is your big siege
Yeah,
fight.
right. That's the one that I was looking for.
Which that
Zora
is
Magdaros,
one of the
massive
worst quests
story.
they've done, but big story beat, important
Yeah.
story, but like that quest itself is dog shit. But that's not the point.
That quest is the climax of everything, right?
It is,
because
yeah.
we learn
The
that
two-
he's just going to die, essentially, right?
The 2 Zora Magdaros sieges are basically the 2 story beats of base game world.
Yeah,
because there's really
besides
only
besides
story
the
beats.
like hour and a half of scripted cutscenes that was unskippable originally.
Yeah, I'm just throwing this in now. I'm sure we were gonna bring it up at some point. They fixed it in Rise. If there isn't skippable cutscenes in Wilds, it's a low chance, but there's a non-zero chance I don't play it until there's a mod that lets me skip cutscenes.
That would be so sad because I'm going to be playing it on release.
As am I, obviously.
I might take time off of work to do so.
There's a very decent chance I will as well, but like
give me 3 days to just play like 20 hours of this game so that I can get back to work without thinking about it.
I think we did that with Rise, if I recall.
We did, yeah. You can go to my apartment.
Yeah, and we played for like 3. We played like the whole weekend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see them do something with it. I don't want to see that, like, I don't like seeing the new concepts that they come up with in one game go away. It's kind of like how we've talked about in Magic with keywords of like, man, this one set had really cool keywords. I like that. That's like one of my favorite like effects and things to do. And then the next set comes along and it's like, well, you're never going to see that ever again. And
you have to wait until we get back to that plane.
Maybe we'll see it again.
Exactly. Exactly. We went back to Kamigawa. There's no soul shift or whatever it was for Spirit specifically.
Yeah, I'd feel bad like if people liked siege hunts and then it's like, oh, well, we actually just scrapped it entirely. You can only play them in this game. Like, it'd be cool to see a continuation of it.
I should
especially
make an
with
amendment.
All the dev time that went into it as well. Just seeing that get wasted makes me sad.
I should make an amendment to what I said earlier. We've seen more than 3 monsters in a hunt, and it's in Rampage quests, but they don't have their full moveset.
Yeah, or
they're fake monsters. Like Arakian is only flying in the air and shooting fireballs at you.
And dies in like 6 hits from a turret.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they're fake little monsters. Which is why seeing so many is kind of cool.
As well, this is a smaller. This is shitting on Rise a little bit. Having that contextually be in the story, not that we've ever cared about the story of individual Monster Hunter games, even if we like the lore of the world on whole.
Yeah.
The story of the individual games doesn't matter piece by piece. So going out and being like, oh, these 2 people need to go, or, this set of 4 monsters, if we're taking it, or 4 hunters, if we're taking it within the world of Monster Hunter, are going out and killing, I don't know, Tetranodon for whatever reason. It takes 4 of them. It's a decently hard fight for newer hunters. But then in a siege, it's like, well, this village is taking out 17 of them at once.
Yeah,
as well as 17 other monsters. And it's like, so what is the scale of their power? Like, it's a cool spectacle, but it's a spectacle that actually breaks your immersion in the game. Because it's like, oh, the Apex one is the strong one, and it's 40,000 health. And it's like, okay, cool, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But we just slaughtered, because we've talked about that of like from our perspective, we're genociding these monsters.
Exactly.
But you only kill 1 within the lore of the game.
Yeah.
Except in Rampage, where you actually are basically doing monster genocide.
Yeah.
In self-defense. You're doing self-defense genocide of monsters. Which, like, that really, it takes you out of the game just a little bit, I felt like.
Yeah. Back to siege-style hunts. When they're done well, they progress narrative. They give you a more relaxed style of play. The original siege hunts in the 2nd generation, there was 2 phases. One, it's walking towards you, and occasionally attacks you.
That's your and then long,
Yep, and then two, the second phase is it's attacking a gate
Yep.
or something, and that's when you hit it with the Dragonator, and you really
Fuck
just
it
go
up,
full
yeah.
out on damage. Very relaxing style of play. It's a great time to get a grip of the mechanics of the weapon that you're using, honestly. Um,
Yeah.
but with this new game, this new engine, I keep going back to the new engine, but this is going to be a big part of the game, I promise you.
I think it will be. I agree.
We have a chance for these siege quests to be something so awesome, even if it loses the effect after the first siege. If that first siege is amazing, or the stampede, or whatever it may be,
It'll
like
be
there's this
enough.
huge storm in the trailer, if that's like part of the siege quest, it would be enough. Exactly, it
Yeah,
would be
I
enough to
agree.
be like, that was so cool to play it the first time. There's not many games where it's like, I wish I could go back and experience this the first time.
Yeah,
That might be a moment for me in Monster Hunter,
I'd agree
is to
with that.
get
Yeah.
an absolutely epic siege quest where you feel like it is epic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think siege hunts are very popular in the community. This
As
is
they should be. They're not very
this is
fun.
another hot take from me. I think I am probably I enjoy them more than average.
I'd say I think that the fact that you like siege hunts is a hot take. I think that the fact that you want to see them do more with it and do better, I feel like that might not be as hot of a take.
That's just hopeful.
Yeah, exactly. I do agree that you liking siege hunts is weird because they're not fun. It was fun the first time, and I agree. I think it hit that level of both of us going like, "Whoa, this is really cool," and then we did it 2 more times and went, "Oh, no, it's not."
It
It was
doesn't apply to
cool.
Rampage, by the way.
It was
It does not
cool.
apply to Rampage.
Oh, see,
Rampage was cool the first time.
yeah, I agree.
And then I
That's what I'm saying.
like,
I think that it did a good job. It had like a really good impact.
yeah.
And like I think its first impact was very well done. And then I think it was especially that there was no benefit to Rampage. As long as in the new version of it, like at no point
Sunbreak?
did I ever
Yeah.
need to at no point for a Rampage did I, or in Rise did I ever go, oh, I need to go do this Rampage real quick to get this upgrade.
Yeah, it's just always
Never once.
Yeah.
It was just that thing that you had to do for the story. If you made it, and like I know there were Rampage effects on weapons that you needed to do them for.
That was
but
the
even
end
in
game of base Rise.
Exactly. Yeah. Even in guides that I see,
Yeah.
no one talks about them. So like, it didn't really fucking matter.
Yeah.
I suppose it probably did in base game Rise, which like
Yeah, they're the best.
Fair enough.
And slot. It was just
augments in world
Yeah.
weren't useful after base game. Like it.
Yeah, exactly.
There are features that have to be that way. I understand that, but
yeah.
yeah, I'd want to see active reward tied to it more. Is my thing.
So that was a long time of us talking about everything that we want to see in the game and everything that we love about the game. Let's talk about things that we don't want to see.
I have one more thing that I do want to see, and I think it looks
I'm
like
sorry.
you're
Go ahead.
probably going to talk about it. But I'm also just curious on your take. I want to see a new weapon, as we've kind of said. Pretty much every new gen introduced a new weapon, from what you've said. I'd certainly like to see one, but even in thinking about it, I don't really know what it would be. I feel like in the weapons that we have, every kind of play style, I feel like is kind of covered already. So I have two ideas.
It would be overlap.
And one of them's,
it would be overlap, I think.
I think it would have to be. One of the things, I don't have a weapon in mind for this. I have kind of an idea based off a Bloodborne weapon, but it wouldn't be this specific. I think a range melee hybrid weapon would be interesting. Something that either you're playing, I guess playing at a medium range doesn't work because that's light bowgun's thing, but as we said, there'll probably be overlap in it. I think something where like you're up like really close, like even if it was like, this isn't obviously what the weapon would be, but this would be like a conceptual play style of it. It'd be like a dagger pistol build type of thing of like you're really fast up close with like smaller hits, probably applying like, you know, elements or something like that. And then when things get heated, the weapon, kind of like a switch axe, would transform but it would be transforming into a ranged weapon.
Yeah,
I think that could be kind of interesting. I think that would be a fun thing to play with.
I think the way that a new weapon could go would be twofold. It would be a morph weapon like Switch Axe, Charge Blade. Am I missing any? No, it's those two,
No,
right?
just those two.
It would either be that or it would be a new blunt damage weapon group.
I've seen people talking about the ones from online
Frontier.
Frontier.
Yeah, it'd be Frontier.
I saw people saying that.
Right?
Yes, that is the one that I saw people saying they'd like to have brought back. That one seems kind of cool.
It would be cool to have, dual blades, but they're like two hammers, or like hammer and what is it called? A meteor hammer? Is that right? No. Is there just like something where it's like blunt and faster than the hammer and not support like hunting horn, so that
exactly.
you can get away from the hammer just bonk
hitting circle 5 times and then rolling away.
Exactly. You can get away from that and you can still get off those stuns, which are crucial if you are
absolutely
if you're playing to be optimal with like a party of 4. Stuns and KOs are
huge. That's where most of your damage is really coming from.
Exactly. So that's where I think the weapons would go. Either a new transformation or something that does like blunt damage.
So here's my not going to happen idea that I just thought of. We get a grenadier class. We get an explosive weapon.
Dude, maybe it's the Gunlance. What are you doing?
But like throwaways.
Oh, okay.
An at-range explosive, not an up-close explosive.
What if you always have the base slinger, but there's another slinger style weapon or something like that.
Oh, that
like
would
launcher
be
or something where it's like a range hybrid that is not about massively applying status or just massive damage, but it is just like a Gunlance shelling where it's just does not bounce, does not get reduced by zones. It's just like that constant DPS. That might be fucking broken. Because it just like sounding like just hearing the sounds of that would be really hard to balance. But you could incorporate like stun bombs into that, or flash bombs, or like poison bombs or something where it's like it's either like all status and that's what they do, and then a little bit of overlap with like your light bow gun. But still, I think it could be really cool to have something where it's like you are a hunter that only uses like the slinger on your wrist, or you have like a hand crossbow that you like launch specific things with, and then you could go into melee or something like
hear me out. Slinger is always on you, but there is a weapon that is shield that specifically has the slinger built into it. And I'm really trying to figure out how that doesn't just invalidate Gunlance and Lance. Because the whole thing would just be shield, which is already their thing. I think there's something there that you could do. But also in Monster Hunter, it's a party-based game, but like if your whole weapon was 100% defense, that's pretty shit. I'm thinking you'd block your teammates from getting hit and stuff, and it's like, oh, so you make a weapon that's literally only viable
when you're playing with someone else. Yeah,
that'd be
kind of
fucking
shitty.
dumb. Like conceptually, a shield I think would be an interesting weapon because you could like throw the shield and stuff. I don't know. There's something there. So like, I don't know.
I see what you're saying. Like,
right?
You have a weapon group that allows more use of the slinger. So
exactly.
Normally the slinger, you shoot your flash pods, you shoot your dung pods, you shoot, whatever the fuck out of it. But now you can bring like that specific slinger ammo that applies like the blights that we saw being applied in Monster Hunter Rise. You can apply Fire Blight and stuff like that. And then you can pair it with like a dagger or a like short sword or something in your other hand, and you can like match up the elements, and
Yeah.
it could be like a huge elemental weapon or something like that. I don't know. That would be
That
cool. That's probably never gonna happen.
no, certainly not. But it
That
does
just
lead
seems like
into the other thing that I wanted to talk about because it's one of the only things I have seen people talking about in accordance with Wilds is do you think, and I think looking forward you might talk about it to some extent. People have been talking about since we saw a hunter on the lizard thing with a weapon and the bow gun. Do you think we're going to have two weapons available on a hunt? I think we've already talked about it, and I think I know what your take is, but I'm say it here as well.
I hope it is not just two weapons on a hunt.
I
I
agree.
hope what
I
it
do not want that.
is you return to your mount, and when you don't have aggro from a large monster, you can switch your kit entirely, but you can only
Yeah.
have two kits, so you can't go back to a camp or something and switch entirely from, your greatsword set to a bowgun set,
Right.
and then also grab longsword to get your tail carve or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna get the greatsword. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I see where you're getting at.
I don't want the ability to like
Hot,
completely
like
change your
actively hot
equipment
swap
and
between
stuff like
weapons.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think if we had like it wouldn't be triangle because those are obviously bound to something else as it would be in a different game. But if it was like a Call of Duty style, like great sword, hit button, now I'm heavy bow, I back up and now I'm in heavy bowgun. I think, as I kind of said before, that would change the game so much that it might not feel like Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
It
like
would
I,
feel
I
like something
don't want.
Monster Hunter adjacent, but it wouldn't be having one weapon that you can only use actively is what makes Monster Hunter to me.
Yeah, because I know you don't do this, but I do this. I go into random online lobbies. It would get to the point where, like, if you're trying to hunt high level monsters and you are a one weapon main, if your off weapon is if you have two great swords, they're just gonna kick you from the fucking lobby. They're gonna be like, I don't want to play with somebody who's not gonna bring a light bowgun so that we can sleep bomb this or whatever the fuck it may be, whatever the meta would evolve into.
Exactly.
I really think it should just be two sets that you have to change in between, and you can't just do it constantly.
I agree with that.
Okay, so let's get into the things that we don't want to see.
Yeah, that's everything that I do want to see in the game. Let's get into it.
Okay. Giratodos and Beatodos.
I want to add Levisioth to the list, and then I agree.
Okay, so now that that's out of the way,
now everything else.
Stop making longsword better, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know how good it was in Rise, but I know that you had the Spirit Helmbreaker, which was like fucking crazy damage.
I mean that's the best in World as well. Yeah,
it was so good. And in Rise, there was the Silkbind move, where you could just get a full spirit gauge every second. It would recharge to full. So you're just doing Spirit Helmbreakers.
Oh, fucking what? Wait, seriously? Holy shit. Yeah, that's insane.
It's the last Silkbind that you unlock. But it's like an area where it's like as long as you're attacking the monster, which you're doing, your spirit gauge is full. It is effectively full.
Yeah, that's
so you are just doing like the final spirit / constantly Spirit Helmbreakers, the one where you IO / thank you.
Yeah.
You just like it just removes the combo aspect of that weapon. It removes the spirit gauge workaround, quote unquote, which was like the one limitation, and it was so minor at that.
It's like the literal only mechanic of the fucking weapon.
Yeah.
Other than swing.
Don't just make the longsword better. You can change it, you can add new mechanics, just don't make it just better than it was in terms of making it easier.
Not even making it easier. In Rise, the game at multiple points was like, hey, play longsword. You're not playing. Hey,
true.
Hey, I noticed that you didn't pick up the first longsword that we gave you. Here's the second one. It's better than every weapon you have currently available to you.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, here's another one, and it's still better than everything that's available to you, and is better than everything that will be available to you until like mid-high rank. And it's like, hey, maybe I understand that one a little more because it was like very specifically Japanese themed. Not that all of them aren't, but like that one was inherently very specifically Japanese themed. So like I understand why you would get a katana as the fuck or realistically
as
you'd be getting
you beat Hub,
a Naginata,
beat the village quest.
Yeah, not a Naginata. Oh, what's the big one? I don't know. Whatever the big katana is.
I know.
I realize it's not a katana technically. But yeah, that just stop. Just like or at least do one of all of them.
The highest numbers in Rise are achievable with a longsword outside of very, very specific speed running strats with great swords, where you have 3 people with the great swords doing like that charge through where like depending on how much damage you take, you deal damage, and you have the other person throwing a barrel bomb at them. Outside of those specific speedrun strats, longsword has the best damage numbers in the game.
That's true in World as well. Yeah, that's true in World, like, other than maybe heavy bowgun. But then we're talking about DPS, not highest hit. And in World, of course, same thing. The highest hit is, it's actually very funny. It's on Dodogama with like a 17 step setup or some shit. In World, that's like the technical highest damage, but it's in a way of like, you would never happen upon this, where I'm guessing in Rise, it's like, you should be hitting these numbers like consistently instead of a 4-team setup where you kill yourself twice with fortify and like all of this shit to get the one 17,000 damage hit in World, where on average, you're right, longsword or again, possibly heavy bowgun had the highest damage, but that doesn't surprise me in the fucking slightest that longsword is the highest damage in Rise.
Yeah, so just don't give it a new weapon move that is just fucking the best weapon move in the game. You know?
We all know that everyone simps for longswords. They don't need extra work to do it. They're gonna do it anyways.
Yeah. This might. So that's a hot take. Everybody loves. You just said it. Everybody loves longswords. That's a hot take.
It's
stop making them just strictly better than the other weapons.
Everything else. Yeah.
It's getting exhausting. I don't want to see a monster whose combined weapon and set is strictly best in slot for most weapon groups. Is more of a thing in Iceborne with Velkhana and Safi, right?
Safi and Fatalis, but yes.
Well, okay, so
Velkhana was certainly very good, but mostly.
Let me say this, and I think Safi is like the endgame boss gear, right? With Fatalis, is that right?
Or realistically, really? the last technically 4 monsters in World, because I think that Safi Jiva and Kolv Taroth are at the same level. They're both siege hunts in like. So I think they'd be at the same thing, except Safi Jiva's gear is going to be used a lot more. But Kolv Taroth's weapons are going to be used fucking constantly. And then after that, it was Elatrion and Fatalis. And I guess technically, if you wanted to do
Behemoth?
one step under that, Rune or Nergigante. Behemoth is technically only high rank. It does not have a master rank. It has Extremeth. Or Extreme Behemoth, which is like the same difficulty, but it was still in base game Rise. But yeah, but I do agree with you. Like, Velkhana was obviously very strong. Coalescence is on God, like every fucking set you can fit it in World for sure. Safi Jiva's genuinely fucking nuts, and I think we probably
don't want
both
to see that anymore. I don't want to see like you get this monster set, and then you still have a lot of game left to play.
But that's all you're
and use. It's gonna get you all the way until Fatalis, Elatrion, Safi Jiva, you know. And it is kind of a thing in Rise too, but it's more specific to the weapon groups. So like I'm more okay with there being one set that is like best in slot for that weapon group.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be all
It
of
shouldn't be like
every, if you have full Safi gear, you can put that with literally any weapon you want in the game,
exactly.
and it's good. Literally any single weapon.
Yeah, so like until you get to like the late end game, you have beaten all of the content. I don't want that to be the case, and maybe I'm wrong on that. So
I think we are in the same boat in saying that like Elatrion, Safi Jiva, in like those ones, that shouldn't be that way. But like as lame as it is, having Fatalis's armor set be the best armor set in the game, bar none, makes lore sense. It's correct. It makes lore sense. Should be that way.
And just the amount of time that you've played the game to get like to Fatalis, you've earned it.
Exactly. Like, it's more okay.
You've done the grind.
Way. I agree.
So now you have the best set in the game, you know,
and now you
gem in whatever you want, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see the game.
Other than that, it shouldn't be that way. I completely agree.
My last one that I don't want to see is I don't want to see the game in an open world style, which a lot of people are speculating because it's called Wilds. I still want the hub. The hub is important to me.
That is one of the only, other than until we mentioned the large grouping of large monsters, it's literally the only thing I had in my don't want to see. Like, I'm fine. Obviously, we want no loading screens in between the game map. That's a given.
That's expected now.
I agree. I do not want Wilds to be the guiding lands of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what I worry it could be. Of like, you don't have a hub, you have a camp where you turn in, and then you just like are getting letters or something. That's fucking lame. Like I saw, isn't there like some big fucking Brotherhood of Steel ass blimp or something in the trailer? I feel like I saw that somewhere. I might be.
I don't think I saw that.
I feel like I saw that somewhere online, but I didn't pay a ton of attention to it. Like, I guess if it was something like that, like a big mobile hub,
that could be cool. Was that Fourth Fleet that was like the flying ship in World?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, Third Fleet, but yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Third Fleet.
Yeah.
If it's like a Third Fleet style, you are like the person on the ground doing all the research and stuff like that. Again, it's going to be Worlds 2, so I imagine that the research and stuff is going to be an important part of the game.
Yeah.
That would be more okay, but like I don't want it to feel like Metal Gear Solid or Breath of the Wild or something where it's just like the whole place is open to you, and you can wander into a monster's territory. As cool as that sounds,
exploration is not why we play Monster Hunter.
Yeah, where the fuck are you gonna go to get your weapons and stuff like that? It would have to go to a hub or something. And I do enjoy going on specific quests. I don't want to just go kill
the biggest thing that I don't want to see happen when we talk about not having like a full open world like that, I don't ever want to be on a hunt or on a quest, not a hunt, specifically on a quest, and see a little pop-up come up on my screen of Stampede 200 meters away. It's an optional quest. That would ruin it. Not ruin it. That's too extreme. But like, you know what I mean? Of like, I want this to be I come to this kind of idea a lot of times when I think about games that I love, of you want it to be the same, but also don't be the same because then it's stale, but too much change is bad. It's like this really fine balance of, I don't want to have little side objectives to do in a Monster Hunter game, other than like we've had in the past, like optional objective carve
like subquests.
Fine, subquests are fine, but I don't want a whole second side quest during my main quest because, oh look, it's open world, you can do multiple things at the same time, because that would then imply like it's open world, there's no timers on this quest, who fucking cares? And then it just is starting to not, it starts to not feel like Monster Hunter in the way that we want it.
invasion monsters like Devil Joe or Basil Geese, those are cool. Those are fine. You
Yeah.
know, they
But
add
in an open
a
world, like
little
what's an
flair.
invasion? Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, what if you're trying to grind a monster and you literally can't find it because
It's just not
like,
spawning.
yeah, like the RNG is just not there
Yeah.
for you.
Like that
Or
sounds awful.
like, if you are in a quest and then you get like a world event where it's like,
Yeah.
I got to stop doing this quest now because I have to go to the world event, right? And they're like,
Right.
you know, timed, or they're like on a timer of like when they happen.
Yeah.
It would feel like too much like an MMO in that
Exactly.
area
Yes.
where it's like,
I
don't put a time
you know,
limit on my grind. Let me get
it's a-
faster at the monster and better
Yeah.
and like more mechanically sound so that I can, you know.
that
So
I feel like that
would be
comes
really
into
upsetting.
don't break up the gameplay loop. Do
Yes.
I want to have those kind of side quests as full quests that I can accept? Absolutely. Yes, I do. I just don't want them to happen during my other quests. Don't break my gameplay loop. If I'm hunting this monster, I want or need, depending on like where you are in the game, to be hunting this monster. This is the thing I am actively doing because I am a kind of gamer who would go, "Ooh, there's this world event off to the side.
Yeah,
Well, I
I don't
should
have any
probably
discipline when
go
I'm playing
do it."
video games.
I mean, fuck, I think the only person that when I played through World pretty much on my own the first time. I think like right up until the end when I found out that Nick played it. And literally every time Zora Magdaros came up, because in World it was like Zora Magdaros available for the next 3 quests. You have the option to take it. I would run Zora Magdaros 3 times because I'd go, that's good money and it's really easy. It was boring as fuck. It set me up very well for the late game, but like I am that guy of like, oh, you gave me a thing to do, I'm probably going to go do it. I stopped playing World of Warcraft because when I played, I was like, oh, I want to go do like the what is the occupations, the jobs, whatever, smithing, mining, that kind of shit. In like, or like the battle pets, and I was like, oh, I did this, and was like talking to some people that played WoW, and I was like, I really got bored of it, and it didn't feel like it was benefiting me at all. And they were like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have been doing that. You should not have done those things. You should have just gone questing and progressed your character. And
yeah, we don't need that kind of side content.
But you gave it to me, so I want to do it. Like the biggest side content in Monster Hunter is hitting circle to gather 3 things at one time. Also one of the best quality of life changes that's ever been in the fucking game, gathering everything at a spot in one time.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you don't want to see? Because I'm fresh out.
I don't think so. I'd say looking like you're gonna move into some just miscellaneous things.
Yeah, just some things that we might see, and I'm just like not like I don't have strong feelings one way or the other. The removal of camps we've talked about, and that was specifically if they do 2 weapon sets.
Yeah,
I don't want to see camps, but I'm fine with there being camps.
Just if it isn't in that way.
Yeah, if it's changed a little bit, so it's not just like you can go and get a full restock, you can go eat a new meal, that sort of thing.
Yeah, at the very least, you should not be able to re-eat at camps. I'll stand by that.
Yeah. It'd be cool if we saw medium bowguns return, but like, where do they even slot in now? Because we have 3 ranged weapons, one that's just pure DPS, one that's kind of, status and element based, and then like bows are doing something too.
I feel like bow is medium bowgun.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Medium bowguns were a thing in Try U. And it's because you would just buy a bowgun and then you would build it to a weight.
Oh yeah, I never used it, but I've seen that system. Yeah, I think for you,
so you would
kind of had. I think for you adapted elements of that.
Could have been in for you too. But yeah, like there was a very distinct point in the game history where they just split the 2 weapon groups into light and heavy, and then kind of gave them their unique identity. Yeah. We talked about a new weapon group. It would be cool to see one. I'm probably still just going to play Gunlance unless
Yeah,
they
I'm probably
bring the
gonna play
acceleration
Greatsword.
axe from the very obscure mobile game that came out like
Yeah.
15 years ago,
Hmm.
um, where it was just basically a jet powered axe. That was like the hammer move set, but it did slashing damage. It'd be
That's
cool.
pretty sick.
And it would give me that sort of like blasting around the map thing that I want from Gunlance to stay in there.
Yeah.
And then the last thing would be a new weapon element.
That'd be interesting. That'd be kind of cool to see.
If they just gave us something new to play around with in terms of weaknesses and resistances and monsters and stuff, I don't even know what it could be at this point,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's like Pokemon introducing fairy typing and everyone
Yeah,
was like,
exactly.
I guess. Sure. That makes
yeah,
sense enough.
And then, yeah, you know, if it's something that everything's weak to, it's just like, what
yeah, it can't
ever. Yeah.
It can't be like not to just pull this into it. It can't just be a Blizzard introduction of, look, we put in a new thing. It's the best thing. Everyone use it, and then 6 months later go, man, everyone's using this. Let's nerf it into the fucking ground. Like, this is way too fucking strong. As long as they don't do something like that, it'd be fine.
I think they could do like a new status that would be cool.
I'd like to see that over a damage for sure.
Yeah, over like an element.
Yeah,
it would be cool. I don't know what it would be. Maybe it's like a dot, kind of like poison. But instead of like maybe they could do like a bleed sort of thing where like, you know, certain weapons from a like very particular monster or a couple monsters add a bleed effect and it gets stronger after like the part has been broken or something.
Maybe
that could be cool.
An exhaustion dot if they made exhaustion actually fucking matter, which it doesn't.
Yeah. Exhaust vials.
It doesn't, and I will never hear otherwise.
Charge blade mains are going crazy right now.
They're
losing their mind.
Dude, rapid exhaust on bowguns, it's so good. He goes slower for a bit until you slam him into a wall, and then he's at full speed again. Gotcha.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Let's add something to things that we don't want to see. I don't want Clutch Claw. You can bring back the Slinger. Don't give me Clutch Claw. I don't want that shit.
I'm fine with Clutch Claw. Don't give me tenderizing.
Okay, that's pretty much why I don't want the Clutch Claw.
I think I agree. I think if Clutch Claw is in the game, it will be tenderizing, and I do not ever want to see tenderizing again. I think that, like I've said it multiple times, I'll say it every time, that is the worst thing that happened to Monster Hunter World's Endgame, because it was just like, okay, it's been 2.5 minutes. That's what made it felt like that made it feel like an MMO of all of our debuffs have gone down, support, fucking get it back on the raid boss, and it's like, stop, just let me kill the fucking monster.
Yeah, and we're not going to see it because wire bugs aren't in there, but I don't want wyvern riding again. I don't want to be able to hit a monster with another monster.
That is actually just what I was going. That was the last thing I had to add of which kind of mounting would you want to see again? And you'd rather have a traditional mount rather than a wyvern ride.
I think, and I'm a boomer for this, I think for you, the mount style could just be tweaked a little bit where if you get the mount off, you deal enough damage with your little hunting dagger, the monster stumbles. Like the same KO stumble, you know?
That's no difference than it is in World, other than the fact that you don't do it as much.
You don't, like, stab them, right? You just throw them into a wall?
No, there's still the traditional for you style mount in World.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't...
I would appreciate that more than wyvern riding.
I get them all the time because I'm a ledge whore and I'll find his a great sword and play it efficiently and just jump off the ledge to get the attack every time instead. Yeah. Or, well, to be fair, in World it is correct because I'm using Volcana, so the crit draw is more important. Besides the point, though. So but you get that, and then instead of the only difference is you get the big attack at the end, if you remember that. Like in For You didn't get your big weapon attack. It just stumbled.
Oh, that's right.
In World, you get the like big charge attack, and then he stumbles. But you're right in saying that you didn't get it as much because you were just Clutch Claw slamming them into the wall, and it was either impossible or more difficult to get a mount when they're enraged. I don't remember which one.
Yeah,
it's one of
that's
those
fine.
Two.
That's
but
fine.
In
like
the Clutch Claw made it in World that they're
mounts.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like the Clutch
Like,
Claw in World made it so the monster, like you're never not, excuse me, you're basically never not fighting an enraged monster in World once you have the Clutch Claw. Because you should
yeah,
be throwing them into the wall as soon as they're not enraged because it's so much damage. So you
yeah.
pretty
And I
much
mean,
only ever fought enraged monsters.
the biggest issue with Wyvern riding is that it's just free damage that you
It's way too
don't
much
have to do
damage.
anything to earn.
Yeah, it
It's
literally
just another
just
monster shows up
happens.
once a hunt, and you get to deal like
It's like 3,000 damage.
yeah, seriously, just like absurd amounts of
way too
damage.
much. Like to the
And
point where if you're in
you
a
don't
hunt
have
and
to-
you get
yeah.
a second Wyvern ride, you're like, all right, fuck you, game. I don't need this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when it actively, like if you go out and search them on your own, that's a play style. But when it just goes, oh, here's your one free Wyvern ride per hunt. Oh, but you're doing this too slow. Here's a second one for you. It's like, hey, fuck you. I'm doing fine. Thank you. I have plenty of time in this fucking hunt. It's cool.
Yeah, but I mean that's all I have.
Yeah.
I mean we're obviously excited for Wilds.
Yeah, super fucking
but
excited.
we have
It's
to
gonna
we
be
have to
great.
temper that for a whole year, which will be
Yeah,
tough.
until we see more on it.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. I haven't been disappointed by Monster Hunter yet. So
Yeah, and fuck, we talked about this for a while, so
yeah, we did. But I think that's about it for us this week. So we hope you have a great rest of your weekend, day, whenever you happen to be listening to this episode. And we hope you come back to check us out again soon. Sorry this one's out a week late. It is the holidays after all, and we should have a new episode out next week as well to be like always. But for now, I've been Ian.
and I'm always Tyler.
And next week we're gonna try our best not to rip off Windigoon forever now that I've been watching him for like 3 weeks straight.
Oh, it's the Windigoon arc.